My name is Margaret and I am 39 years old. For the past 12 years, I believed I had a good marriage. My husband, Kevin, was my best friend, my rock, and the father of our 2 children. He was responsible, loving, and always made me feel safe. We weren't perfect, but we were happy, or so I thought. Everything changed 6 months ago. Started like any normal day. Kevin kissed me goodbye in the morning before heading to work. He told me he loved me and that he would be home for dinner. But he never came home. First I was worried. I called his phone multiple times, but it went straight to voicemail. I thought maybe he got caught up at work, so I waited. But as the hours passed, my worry turned into panic. Kevin had never disappeared like this before. I called his office, only to be told that he had called in sick that day. My heart sank. Something was terribly wrong. I filed a missing persons report. The police asked me if there were any signs that he wanted to leave, but there were none. There was no note, no argument before he left, no financial struggles that could push him to run away. We had built a life together, a home, a family. Why would he just vanish? Days turned into weeks, and the uncertainty was unbearable. Every time my phone rang, I hoped it was him. Every knock on the door sent my heart racing. But there was nothing. My children kept asking when Daddy would come home, and I had no answers for them. I barely ate, barely slept. I felt like I was losing my mind. Then, 2 months after his disappearance, I got a notification from our joint bank account. My heart nearly stopped. A transaction had been made. I rushed to check the details. It was a withdrawal. Kevin had taken money from our savings. My hands trembled as I stared at the screen. He was alive. He wasn't missing. He had left us. The realization hit me like a punch to the gut. I had spent months crying, worrying, imagining the worst. And all this time he had chosen to walk away. But why? And where was he now? Determined to find answers, I started digging. I tracked the withdrawal location and found that it had been made in a city 2 hours away. I wasn't sure what I was looking for, but I needed to know the truth. I took a day off work, left my kids with my sister, and drove there. My heart was pounding in my chest the entire time. Nothing could have prepared me for what I found. I saw him. Kevin. My husband. The man who had built a life with me. He was sitting outside a cafe, laughing with a woman. And she wasn't just any woman, she was holding a baby. A baby that looked just like him. I felt like I was going to be sick. My legs felt weak, my chest was tight, and my world came crashing down in an instant. He had another life, another family, and he had chosen them over us. I wanted to scream. I wanted to run up to him and demand an explanation. But I couldn't move. I just stood there, watching the man I loved play happy family with someone else while I had been drowning in pain. Tears streamed down my face as I drove home that evening. I felt betrayed, humiliated, and broken. How could he do this? How could he lie to me for years and then just walk away without a word? Had he ever truly loved me? The worst part is, I still don't have answers. He never reached out, never tried to explain. It's as if we never existed to him. As if our years together, our children, meant nothing. I don't know what to do. A part of me wants revenge. A part of me wants to expose him, to make him pay for abandoning us. But another part of me just wants to move on, to erase him from my life and pretend he never existed. But how do I do that when my children still ask for him? When every corner of my home reminds me of the love I thought was real? I need advice. Do I confront him? Do I tell his new woman who he really is? Do I fight for justice? Or do I walk away with whatever dignity I have left? Feel lost. Feel broken. But most of all, I feel like I need to know. What should I do?